Hey guys, it's Mikey, aka Grayson from BUCKYBALL. In today's video, I'm actually joined by Cerulean. It's me interviewing him, poking a few questions, poking his head for a few questions, and seeing how he responds to them. It was a while ago. I recorded this after I was teaming with Javaro, so it's pretty late in the day. We're both pretty tired. He just got off of training day, I believe, as well, and he is sick at the moment of this recording. But we were able to get some good content for you guys, so I hope you enjoy. Get actually be able to do it. But I think, because I think the 10-year-olds now that are playing this game, they're gonna be pretty good. But the 10-year-olds next year, just like Rocket League was, I'm not sure if you're familiar with too much with the Rocket League scene.
I'm GC.
You're GC, okay. I am never GC because I'm that bad. But I do enjoy the esports side, and I do enjoy learning about the mechanics, learning about the history and just how it started. I had no skill. I'm like a barber that has no hair. I appreciate the art, but I can't go in. But
That's a good analogy.
Thank you. But I slowly, like now, some of the best Rocket League players are like 17 years old. Like Scrubkilla, he was like the best 1v1 player besides Fairy Peak.
He started playing when he was like 7 years old.
Yeah, and he got really good like at 13, I guess, 13, 12.
Yeah.
And he was able to play in an esports organization
when 15.
Yeah. But so you see, like, the things that you're trying to do, and the things I'm trying to post to the internet will make a lot more sense to the people next year than the people now.
They need an in-game replay software so you can like start making montages.
Oh yeah, dude, we like Pulse. But yeah, like. I'm hoping they do that. Add like some type of just replay thing. You could watch it. Hopefully, you could do like again all the crazy stuff that they do in montages. Show it off. I do wish that dribbling was more mechanical. Like Rocket League. Like since it's all physics based, you could just it takes real crazy skill to do air dribbles.
Yep.
In this game, you kind of just hold on to the ball, but the tempo plays, that would be sick to be able to.
That's where the skill comes involved.
Yeah.
And I've only ever shown some of the ideas and concepts behind it. I haven't shown all of them. I haven't even shown the 3-man tempo plays yet.
Oh no. So a tempo play, just to have like a broad idea of what it is. From my understanding, a tempo play is when at least two players are doing some type of passing play that by the time the ball touches the next player to score, that player's already like in that scoring position, right? Like he's already trying to score without the ball even being in his hands. That's from my understanding is. So
that's a basic idea of it. My basic definition of it is the tempo side of it comes from the person who makes the pass. So it's determined, the tempo refers to the amount of time it takes for the ball to get to the shooter. So you use that time in the shooting, or you try and draw out as many defenders as you can as the person who's making the pass, so that way the shooter has a more clear shot in the end.
So how do you feel about the preseason?
Preseason, I like it so far. There's some bugs that need fixed. Some characters still, in my opinion, need reworked, but overall I think it's pretty good so far.
Is there anything that you think was drastically changed from the alpha?
animations
Animations?
of like the ball. So like the glowing of the ball is different. The bomb is different. The particle effects. All of the stuff that's like not always completely active on the field is different. The punching animation is different. The slam animation is different. It's just more smooth looking. I personally like the old bomb animation though.
Mm-hmm. You know what I
That
like
one was
is
really
the breaking thing that it does.
How did you get knocked there?
Maybe they had an item.
I don't think he had an item.
I don't know how I got. I was charging my my shot,
Good old.
but I really don't know what happened there. I haven't noticed any crazy hacks. Like this game doesn't have like hack clients.
No, it doesn't. I don't know exactly how you would go about hacking this game in the first place.
I don't know either. Like having infinite energy. Guess what I would be like thinking about.
So
I do like the new influx of players and having a preseason that you're able to play with. The game's more polished, more people to play with, but I do miss the smallness of the alpha.
oh yeah, I'd agree. The small community that wasn't toxic and like lobby chat wasn't full of just
Yeah.
cesspools of stuff. You
But-
just kind of you just showed up, then you joined in the lobby and you're just like, all right, let's play.
Yeah.
And nobody talked crap. Nobody cared whether you won or lost.
They're just hoping this game succeeds.
Yep. That was the goal.
No.
For me personally, I wanted to break the game.
You wanted to break it? Like you wanted to just like find all the bugs and exploit it?
Yeah. So basically, my mindset when I test a game, I did this with a game called Steel Circus as well. The goal was to find as many bugs, exploit those bugs, and then proceed to use them in game until the devs decided to patch them out. It was a way of me telling the devs that they needed to work on their game
You're gonna
because
be like a vigilante?
they weren't putting out enough patches.
Mm-hmm.
So I was finding ways to break the game to do that, and in this game, early alpha, there was a lot of those, and then the devs were quick about patching them out. So it was like, okay. So ever since then, Javaro and I have been trying to test things, find broken things about characters. Some things we've mentioned to the devs, they still haven't fixed about some characters being broken. The way that Pi's ultimate reacts, like sometimes the ball just goes past them, but like the trigger will happen, which means the ultimate should be used and the ball should stop, but it doesn't. The ball just like keeps going, and then your ult sometimes will magically disappear, or it won't activate at all. And then there's things like jumping or shockwaving with Gridiron Shield. You should not be able to do that. We figured out how to do it. It's a glitch and a bug.
Okay.
We've mentioned to the devs, like, just make it be able to make you so you can jump with his shield, but it like potentially reduces the amount of durability on your shield as a penalty for jumping, because you already have a shockwave as well. So it's like give and take. Both of them will basically pretty much do the same thing, but you'll reduce your durability on your shield. That would be cool to have. But right now that's broken.
How do you like the character boards? Do you think they're just useless?
Character boards, I think the season board is kind of useless. Like,
Oh yeah, the season pass. There's a show that's like telling
That's
you what
kinda-
honor boards is telling you. Who has played the
Yeah,
most?
yeah. Well, not necessarily. It's the leaderboard, the season pass board is telling you who's the most efficient with their game. That's what that's saying. So I've completed 34 challenges and I'm a higher rank than Asley, but Asley's played more games.
Okay.
He's played 30 more games than me. The reason there's a difference in that is because I was more efficient in how I completed the challenges. I've completed more in faster amount of time, so I'm a higher level. The other one I think is really good. I like it. I think personally it should not be 10 games when you start to show up on the leaderboard.
You want it to be less or more?
More games. I think you should have at least 50 games played before you
Show
get
up on
put on the
there.
leaderboard.
That's true, because then you could just win 10 games and.
Yeah, because like right now in the Discord, people are like, "Oh, I'm number so and so on the leaderboard," but then next thing you know, somebody who's been playing for the last 2 days is like, "Yeah, but you have so many games played," whereas say this person has like 80 games played and they have like a 70% win rate. Like who's really the better player? Somebody who's played it and is consistent at that, or somebody who just started and got lucky and won 8 games or 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's no real gauge of skill yet. There's no good way to gauge skill when everyone is kind of bragging that they're at the top, but nobody knows exactly who really is yet. It's never going to be a perfect system.
So we get maybe competitive ranking going? Tournaments happening in the real game?
Yeah. All the good Samba players I've played against as somebody in goal will
They're
do that.
so, like,
They're
scary. The growl, the sound effects. Tony the Tiger has given me nightmares.
What was I going to say? The midfield play for Samba is you can actually use those sound effects to your advantage if you have the ball. And you can try and predict when they're going to dash and then just jump right over them and they won't even touch the ball. And you can like make them waste their stuff. And on defense, it's pretty viable as well.
Yeah.
I personally think every character can play every position. And every character should play every position. Javaro took a more of a, all right, what do you guys want to learn? And I'll teach you. And then I kind of took the approach of like, let's play games. I will see what you guys need to work on and I will address it as we go. And basically from the very start, it was like positioning.
Mm-hmm.
How to position yourself, like how to use space to your advantage and make your opponents work more than they should. And then I also explained how to defend against it. So it was like you spread out, the offensive people spread out, so that way the two midfielders or forwards have to play in between you. So they have to decide whether or not they're going to go chase the ball or play man-to-man. And most people decide to chase the ball, so they waste a lot of sprint. And the first game, me and Mikey, new player, he was doing it without thinking about it. Like he didn't know exactly what was happening. But we were doing that back and forth, just making the opponents just waste their sprint, and then we had a wide open net to shoot at.
Yeah.
And then after that, like 3 times, I was like, all right, do you guys realize what we're doing? And even Mikey didn't realize it. And then I explained it and they were like, all right, so we play man to man. And then as they started doing that, games started to get a little closer. Games went from being like 8-2 to more like 5-7 or like 8-6. Like there started to become 1 goal differences as each person was like, all right, I want to learn more about this character. So I gave a brief rundown of the different tempos to Mikey and a couple other new people,
Mm-hmm.
and how you can utilize it by yourself and with another person. So they have a basic understanding of how that stuff works. So they're going to be working on that. So that will be interesting. Passing out of it and then scoring is a really good way of doing it. It's not perfect because Chaz probably will see it coming from a mile away and try and dodge it,
but
and somehow still get the save. But it's another weapon in the arsenal to use.
Isn't that like the end game? Like that's is for like a pro scene, with quotations. Where the best players, when they do play against each other, whether it's gonna be whether Chaz, somehow goes out of his prime or new players start coming up, but that's where the skill's at. Like what we talked about, it's not mechanics, like dribbling a ball, but it's that team play.
Yep.
And that's gonna be so sick when we're able to watch, whether we're spectating or it's on Twitch or whatever, two teams that people are freaking out because like, oh snap, like we didn't see this tempo play happen where this person just ulted at the perfect time that caused like just a chain of reactions.
Yep.
It's gonna be so awesome.
This game currently is in a very solo based mindset. A few of us higher level players have already transcended out of that. Like we still will do it if we're solo queuing because none of the new people will know. But if we're queuing with one another, we'll pass the ball constantly to each other, and newer people won't touch the ball. Knowing how manual passes work individually, knowing how to turn your character to curve the ball rather than just a straight shot, all of that stuff is going to change the way the game is played, and it's going to be huge.
That was me playing with Cerulean. Out of the trio of Javaro, Chaz, and Cerulean, Cerulean's always considered the smarter one. He's the one that's trying to come up with new ways to play the game, while Chaz and Javaro kind of stick to what they know best, whether it's bullying or just the fundamentals itself. But don't count Cerulean out. He's still an excellent, smart, super buckyball player, and I hope you guys enjoyed hearing from him and seeing how he plays the game. Let me know in the comments down below who you want me to play with next before the beta ends. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe and like. That helps me know that you're enjoying what I'm posting and want to see more of it. And as always, guys, have a good one.